Hi friends. Starting a new sketchbook can be daunting.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Ah!
I have quite an extensive collection of sketchbooks, and I hate just opening it and feeling like, crap, what am I gonna make? This has to be perfect. It has to look great. I don't know, I feel like it needs to be perfect because otherwise I'm wasting it. I'm wasting the money that I spent on it, and I'm just wasting supplies. So today, we're going to go over some exercises that have helped me when it comes to breaking in a new sketchbook and kind of just getting over that fear of how do I begin. So one of the main things that stops me, or at least gives me pause when I'm trying to start a new sketchbook, is that fear that I mentioned of messing something up. So something that actually helps me to just let that fear go is to dedicate a page or a spread to just purposefully making crap. Just making a page of scribbles and mess. That way you're just leaning into the fear and you're like, okay, if I can just make nonsense, I don't have to be precious with it. You just need to take that first step into opening the door, and then it'll feel better to continue from there. So we're going to do that in this little sketchbook right here. It's new-ish. It's not technically brand new, but let's just pretend for the sake of the video that it is. I've been on kind of a watercolor, colored pencil, scribbly mixed media kick, so I think I'm just going to spend a page doing that. Again, I'm not planning on having it look good. If you're working alongside me, don't worry about how it's going to look. Just like take random crap, whatever you have around you, or maybe something you want to work on and just test out, and we're just going to make a hot ass mess. And that's okay, because it's a hot ass mess time. It's a messy time to be alive. So we're going to take out our frustrations and put it in here. Hear them ring, soon it will be Christmas Day. Why am I singing Christmas songs? It's February. What's wrong with me? And here we are. See, this is just like a bunch of, I don't know, scribbles and mess. It's fun, it's freeing, it takes the pressure off of having to make something perfect. And actually, I kind of like this.
Not this.
I love how watercolor and colored pencils look together. I use a mix between Winsor Newton watercolor and Daniel Smith, and honestly, I use like the cheap $5 tube of Cotman watercolor paints. Like, I don't think you need expensive Like, yes, some pigments are better, but I also think that like, if you can get a cheap set of paints, use those. You can still make good art with that. I'm never one to suggest like you have to get the fanciest stuff. You absolutely do not by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, this was fun. Now the second option is to draw something that you are familiar with. So I don't know if you really like drawing eyes or cats. Think of something that you are really familiar with drawing, but you can draw with your eyes closed. And that is another way to just kind of like, you don't have to pressure yourself. You don't have to try something new. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just dive in with something that you're comfortable with. I have a personal affinity for drawing Victorian or Edwardian style people. That's my usual like drawing go-to if I'm just trying to like warm up and do something. Let me know what yours is. I don't know if you like, so the people who draw animals, I give you so much credit because I suck. Drawing animals is not my thing. I definitely need to practice that. And I probably should be drawing that instead, but I'm not going to. Anyway, here we go. And here we are. I'm not super stoked with how this one turned out, but I do like this girl right here. She does look a little ghoulish, which I'm happy with. But this one I think is my personal favorite. She's not really looking Edwardian or Victorian, but that's okay. It's just nice. I just like drawing like period piece profiles and portraits. Whenever you're stuck and don't know what to draw, default to something that you know and something that you like. You don't have to experiment and try something new. If you want to, great. But if not, just go with something that's all reliable. Now, the last idea of something that we're going to do today is to actually just dedicate a whole page to color swatches. And I know that might sound silly and a little weird, but I think just like taking a bunch of supplies that you like and just doing just like swatches of color is a nice way to just kind of like decorate a page without having to think too much. You don't really have to worry about like, oh God, I have to like draw something or I have to study something. You can just scribble colors and it'll naturally look pretty, hopefully. But usually it should be okay. And voila. I think this actually turned out quite nice. I don't usually work on textured paper or paper that has like a little bit of a tooth to it. I usually work on very smooth paper like Bristol or the sketchbooks that I use. Like this is the Tannen's Art Creations sketchbook series. I did a whole sketchbook tour video a little while ago. I love this brand of sketchbooks. They're great. They're not like advertised as being mixed media, but I've used them with like watercolor, gouache, colored pencil, pastel. I love them, but they don't really have a tooth to the paper like this one does. But I really like how the textures just turned out. It's all like kind of juicy. I love working with textures. I've really been having a lot of fun with breaking back into traditional media again. And I love painting on Procreate, don't get me wrong, but there's just something really nice about seeing the natural textures that come out from using supplies by hand. But I'm not a purist. I'm not one of those people that's like, digital art isn't real art unless it's AI, in which case that's disgusting. But yeah, those are some of the things that helped me get through a new sketchbook. If anybody has any other ideas of what you guys do, I'd really love to know. But I hope that this was a fun little cozy video. Thank you very much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.